Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World on the Black Business School. I want to welcome you guys to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. This is where we discuss daily financial news and commentary from a black perspective. What's up on Instagram? My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So if you want to follow me on Instagram and you're tired of the ignorance and you're tired of the stupidity of the world and you're tired of sheepish, bullshittish behavior, then you should follow us on at The Real Boyce Watkins, because we have thoughtful conversations. We challenge all ideas. We lay every thought on the table, and we ain't scared of nobody. So if you're black and intelligent, throw your hands up. Let me know who you are. Let me know what you stand for. Let me know what you believe. Hashtag B1. Hashtag B1 means that you're black first. Hashtag B1 means that the black community matters more than any other community. Hashtag B1 means that we know we must be one to be successful. Hashtag B1 does mean that black people are number one. So I don't care what anybody else says. I put my people number one, my people first. So if you ain't serving black people, then you don't exist. So anyway, you got me watching Higher Learning. That's funny. I see somebody from Denmark. Who's in Denmark? Let me see. Did I see Denmark? What city are you guys in? Tell me what city you're in. I saw Denmark. I can't find the name, but I see you. I see you, Denmark. I'm just going to call you Denmark now. All right, so let me get started here. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it yet, and make sure you sign up at drboycetv.com. So I want to hop into this conversation. We had a really great, we're having a lively debate right now on Instagram about the rapper Drake. I don't know why Drake was on my brain today, but it just came to me, and I thought about this, and I thought that it would be an interesting perspective to kind of talk about Drake. And I think I know what it was. I saw a post where I think it was Black Enterprise or somebody that put a picture of Drake's jet. Drake has this big, beautiful jumbo jet. It's like it's this massive thing, and he flies all over the world, and people love that. I mean, and black people love balling. Like, we love material possessions. We think that if you have money, you're successful, and that's it. It doesn't matter how you got it, whatever. That's by the way, that comes from slavery. That comes from oppression. Just in case you want to know the psychology behind that. But anyway, not hating on Drake though. I'm happy he has a jet. I'm happy for him. I'm sure he enjoys the jet. And but it made me think a little bit. You know, it made me think about a time where I saw when Drake got the jet. And I remember when Drake mentioned that he was very proud to support a strong Canadian company, right? And I said, that's really interesting, because I kind of wish we had more celebrities that would say, I am proud to support a strong black company. Now, why is that important? Why do I lay that out there? Why do I push this little challenge toward Drake? It's not hating. Challenging somebody's not hating on them, right? Your mama wasn't hating on you when she challenged you. Your mama was loving you, right? So sometimes people that you think are haters are actually helping you. They're helpers, not haters. So I'm not hating, I'm helping, right? So anytime somebody says, well, you just hating, just say, no, I'm not hating, I'm helping. I'm not a hater, I'm a helper, right? So we're going to be a helper here. And let me tell you why I had to lay down a little bit of a challenge to Drake on that remark is I said, look, when you were on Degrassi, when you were the corny guy on Degrassi and you were trying to become a rapper, it wasn't Canadian culture that made you into a world-renowned hip-hop artist. It wasn't Canadian culture that you leaned on to decide how to flow when you get in the studio, right? It wasn't Canadian culture that gave you the hip-hop music genre that allowed you to become, incredibly wealthy and incredibly successful, right? Now, mind you, we know white people fill up the stands. White people love to watch black people, portray every black stereotype known to man, right? If you ever want to make money, it's easy. Just go out and act like, a buffoon and wear a bunch of gold chains and get a bunch of tattoos and act like you'll kill another black person in a second. Oh, they'll pay for that. They'll celebrate that. Drake's community. Drake's half black and half something else. I'm not going to say it because I don't want this to come off as anti-Semitic. But, you know, in that community, they love to make money from black people portraying genocidal stereotypes. They love that. They love promoting, mass marketing black genocide. That's why so many black people die. That's why dozens of black people were shot in Chicago just in the last 2 or 3 days alone. Right? Sorry, that's the bell for the stock market. This is when the stock market opens. I have an app that starts dinging when the stock market opens every day. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on the Black Financial Channel, by the way. So, okay, cool. It is what it is. But here's the deal. You know, given that Drake made so much from the black community, given that you borrowed our cultural capital from us, which is worth trillions of dollars to the world, you owe a black tax. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if anybody gets mad. I don't care if people think I'm hating. I'm not hating. I'm helping. I think you owe a black tax. And I'm going to try to make this argument that I hope you'll at least consider. You don't have to agree with me, but I want you to just try to consider this a little bit in terms of understanding why celebrities, any celebrity who makes money from hip-hop owes a black tax. The black ones, the white ones, the Asian ones, everybody who makes money from hip-hop owes a black tax. Black people created that whole genre. Black people were the cultural foundation of all things hip-hop. Almost everything that comes out of that is complete cultural appropriation. So you know, the reason, if you want to understand, you know, things like wealth gaps, and you know, I'm a financial expert, so I understand. I thought extensively about wealth gaps. Why does everybody have money except black people? Why do Asians have money and black people don't? Why do Jewish people have money and black people don't? Why do white people have money and black people don't? You know, well, a lot of it comes back to something Dr. Claude Anderson talks about in Black Labor, White Wealth. And I'm actually read this to you. And before I read this to you, in addition to asking you guys to right now, please hit that thumbs up button. Please make sure you subscribe. I also want to apologize. I know we got too many black men out here apologizing. So, you know, I don't want to even make it an apology, but I want to correct myself on a couple of things. And this is important. One, I thought Drake's jet was an $85 million jet. I was wrong. It was actually a $185 million jet, if I'm not mistaken. I think I looked it up. I think that they said that the private plane was either 185 million or 187 million. It's way up there, right? So it's a beautiful. And then some publications list 200 million. It depends on what you look at. That's the first area I'm going to correct myself on. Second area I'm going to correct myself on is this. I thought Drake bought the jet. I said, wow, that's really great. Good for him. He managed his money. He was able to go buy him a $100 or $80, $100 million, $200 million jet. He actually didn't buy it. Drake did not buy this jet. It was given to him by a company that wanted to promote their jets. And so it was a gift. It was not something he purchased. So I think that that's really important to just kind of know the distinction. But I think that that's actually a great opportunity. Some of you corrected me on Instagram, and I appreciate that. But it's also an opportunity to make a clear point that I want to make, which is that I want to take the attention off of Drake. This is not a Boyce against Drake kind of conversation. This is not Boyce's pointing out Drake, because I went through that when I said something about Lizzo promoting obesity and heart disease and unhealthy behavior to black people, and then 2 months later y'all complaining because black people are dying from COVID. Well, a lot of it's because we eat shitty food. Like, I'm on a horrible fast right now that Alicia put me on, and I hate it. And I'm running around eating like a rabbit, drinking water all day to keep myself from starving half to death. But part of it's because I grew up eating shitty food also, and I want to get rid of some of the Negro stereotypes. So I too am extracting the coonery out of my body. I too am extracting bad behavior out of my body. But when I brought that up with Lizzo and I said, do you think that it makes sense to promote obesity to a nation that struggles with obesity and heart disease and has an obesity epidemic? Like, do you think that that's really good to tell everybody, oh, it's great, you know, get a little fatter, keep on eating? Or maybe you should encourage something a little healthier, right? And that caused a lot of people to say, oh, you hating on Lizzo. And I said, no, I'm not hating, I'm helping. But they don't see it that way, right? We live in a nation where people don't like accountability. They don't like to be challenged. They don't like the free exchange of ideas. They get into this very Nazi kind of mindset that says, if you don't believe what I believe, then fuck you. You ain't shit. I'm going to cancel you, blah, blah, blah. Well, you ain't canceling me for shit. Only person that can cancel Boyce Watkins is a guy named Boyce Watkins. I can't be canceled. That ain't happening. So fuck you and the horse you rode in on. I'm about to continue. So here's the deal. Okay, so with Drake, this is not a Drake-ish discussion. Drake is not the only one I'm talking about here. I'm really talking in general about the black tax. The black tax to me, is something that every celebrity should pay if they are extracting and have appropriated black culture for their own economic benefit. This is not a new idea. This is not a new idea. The mafia does this. If you go and you do a deal in a neighborhood that the mafia feels like they control, then they're going to show up, knock at your door, knock, knock, knock. We would like to offer you protection for a fee. And basically you're being protected from us. So we will protect you from the wrath that we will drop on your ass if you don't understand that in this neighborhood, in this community, we're running things and you better write that check. Now that's a little bit problematic, right? That's not a nice thing to do, but other communities do it. The Jewish community does it. If the Jewish community elevates you to economic prowess and success, you better be giving back. You better be helping the community to become stronger. You better be putting some of those resources back in the community, or you will not be invited back to synagogue. If you go to China, China has a China first policy. If you want to know how China went from being the most economically devastated country on earth, or one of the worst, to becoming the greatest economic power that we've ever seen, it was partly because they basically came up with something that is equivalent to what we have with the hashtag B1 philosophy. Their philosophy was China first. It doesn't matter what you're doing over there. If it ain't coming back to China, then it doesn't exist. If you're out here making money, if you ain't bringing some of that back to China, then we don't respect you. You can go off and accomplish amazing things in somebody else's neighborhood, but if you ain't bringing it back to China, then fuck you. You know, we don't care, right? So I think that black people can learn from that, right? But you see, the thing about that is it requires this thing that you haven't had for a very long time because you are descendants of slaves. It's called self-esteem. It's something called self-esteem. Self-esteem is where you demand from the world what you truly deserve. Self-esteem is where you tell people, look, I'm worth this much and you giving me that much, and that is not acceptable, right? Self-esteem is where you say, you know what, I know that you might not like me anymore, but that's okay because I like myself. And in order for me to appropriately deal with you, I'm probably going to have to piss you off for a minute. This is not personal. This is me looking out for me and mine, because I'm not looking out for somebody who ain't looking out for me. You see, part of the reason that you struggle as a community is because you have a lot of love for people who don't give a damn about you. Right, Scissor? You will idolize and worship people who literally wouldn't pee on you. They wouldn't waste urine peeing on your head if you were on fire and the world was coming to an end. They don't have any concern about your life, but you have every concern for theirs. So instantly when I mentioned Drake and the Jet, I already knew that there would be little people, little Drake mosquitoes popping out of the woodwork, or little Drake fans. I'm not gonna call them mosquitoes. That's kind of mean, but little Drake fans. Like why are you hating? Why you got your hand in man's pockets? Why are you talking about Drake? Why are you messing with Drake? And I know what it is. I get it. You like Drake because he makes great music, and I don't disagree with you. He makes great music, but he ain't doing nothing for my family or yours. No disrespect to him. I'm not hating on him. I might just ask you, okay, so when you when somebody gets shot, when a black person gets shot by the cops, or black people are really going through it, or we're debating reparations, is Drake one of the people in the forefront fighting on that issue? I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Just bring receipts. Bring some receipts. Show me. Like when your boy George Floyd got shot. What did Drake say? I'd be curious. I don't know. I haven't done the full research. Let me see. I'm gonna Google search Drake and George Floyd. So Drake, George Floyd comments. Let's see what comes up on Google. Drake calls out the lawyer of the fired George Floyd cop. Okay, that's good. That's good. So he spoke on the lawyer that defended the cop that defended George Floyd. Okay, so that's good. That's a good start. I think that's nice, right? But I think at the end of the day, I'd be curious. I'd like for you to make your own assessment as to whether or not you feel celebrities really have your back on the issues like reparations. You need celebrities. Celebrities can benefit a cause. I'll give you an example. I worked with Russell Simmons in 2013 to change mass incarceration law in the United States. We did something where we basically were trying to end the war on drugs, and we went to the Obama administration and we said, okay, so we were like, okay, so we'd like to change the fact that you and Bill Clinton and Joe Biden decided to incarcerate more black men than anybody in the history of the United States. And we need your help to do this. And you're considered the first black president. And you said that this was important, so we'd like to see you follow through on that. Well, they promptly said, kiss our black asses. We're not doing anything. We really don't want to even acknowledge you because we're not comfortable with black people asking for things, right? They're used to black people having low self-esteem and just worshiping people who care nothing about them, right? And so they were kind of stunned that Russell and I showed up and said, no, we expect you to do something for black people instead of just collecting their votes. Well, they fought us tooth and nail. The Obama administration was not cooperative. Valerie Jarrett was probably the biggest obstacle in all of this. It was very uncomfortable and very surprising to me and really disappointing to me because I thought this was a no-brainer. Well, what got us over the top? Here's what got us over the hump. It was when Russell went out and got 100 different celebrities to sign the letter that I wrote to President Obama. I wrote a letter to President Obama. We sent it in. They ignored it pretty much. And Russell went and got a bunch of celebrities, everybody from Chris Rock to Will and Jada to the Kardashians to Lil Wayne to a lot of people signed this letter. And I think they probably did it because they're cool with Russell. They certainly ain't cool. They don't know me. And this is what got the Obama administration to respond. In fact, the kicker, to be honest with you, was when Justin Bieber tweeted out the hashtag that we had created for this whole movement. I think it was End the War on Drugs. And when Justin Bieber sent out that tweet, it became the number 3 most trending or highest trending hashtags in the world. That's what led the Obama administration to say, damn, we got to do something for these Negroes, right? And so what I'm saying to you is that, you can't have people using you and not giving anything back. That creates what Dr. Claude Anderson refers to as the doctrine of unequal exchange. Let me read some of this to you in Black Labor, White Wealth, Dr. Anderson's book. This is page 112. This is how Africa became so poor when Africa used to be extremely rich. In fact, Africa is still probably the richest continent on earth in terms of resources, but Africa has been drained for many hundreds of years. And let me explain where this started in the 15th century. While Africa's human capital was being displaced through slavery, so too were its natural and mineral wealth. Arab, Moor, Spanish, and Portuguese merchants traded low-value fabricated items such as pig iron, brass rings, religious artifacts, household gadgets, and used firearms for Africa's highly valued commodities, which included gold, silver, leather, long cotton, art objects, black slaves, and ivory. So what occurred was white folks came and they said, give us your most valuable stuff. We handed it over. And in exchange, they gave us a bunch of bullshit. Right? Well, this same phenomenon exists to this day. This same phenomenon exists, which is why black people stay poor. They come to your communities. They say, okay, give us what you have of value. Well, give us your labor. Okay, and we gladly do this, right? Because we've been trained to participate in this system. So we give them our labor. And nothing fulfill a black man's fantasy than working for a white man. Though nothing make a black family prouder than when you get a job saying, I got a real proud, rich white man that is going to let me come work for him. Seriously, does anybody have people in their family where if you tell them you got a job, they'll cheer for you. But if you tell them you started your own business, they feel sorry for you, right? Think about that. You got to be trained to think that way, right? Liberation ain't exactly the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of us because liberation takes risk and strength and self-esteem. Not all of us have that self-esteem, right? So ultimately, we give away our labor. We give away our athletes. Our athletes are worth trillions of dollars. We give those away to the NCAA. The NBA pays a little bit of the tax, but the NCAA pays almost nothing. We give away a lot of our cultural capital. Hip hop was created in the South Bronx. It's a multi-trillion-dollar commodity. It's been exported to other communities. When they saw the hip hop was taking off in the South Bronx, basically a record label executive, probably run by a record label that's owned by one of the other communities, right? Y'all know who owns most of the record labels. Y'all know who controls the media. And she came into the hood and said, I need 3 Negroes who can rap, or 4, whatever. And she formed the Sugar Hill Gang, and that became the face of hip hop. And so a lot of the rappers in the hood were pissed because they were like, this is not real hip hop. This is not us. But they didn't give a shit if it was you. They just wanted your cultural capital. They didn't want you. They wanted your wealth. They wanted what you had between your legs. They wanted your goods. They didn't want you. right? What else? I mean, you could continue to go down the list. There are a multitude of ways in which black cultural capital is stolen and extracted and exported to other communities, and it enriches other people, but does not enrich black people. That's the doctrine of unequal exchange that Dr. Claude Anderson refers to in the book Black Labor, White Wealth. That explains why you're poor. That explains why you don't have anything. That explains why you think you have nothing when really you have a lot. Because if you didn't have anything, they wouldn't be setting up businesses in your community. If you didn't have anything, they wouldn't be trying to recruit your sons to play for the basketball team. If you didn't have anything, they wouldn't keep putting those public schools in black neighborhoods that are absolutely crappy so they can get trillions of dollars in government funding just so they can make sure that your child is appropriately miseducated, right? They're making money off of you, and we ain't gonna talk about the hair care industry. I see you in there, Nat Chap. We can't even talk about hair because that's a whole nother area right there. They will make money doing your hair and take your bread to do your hair, and then when you try to get in the industry, they will block you out of the industry. That is about the greatest form of disrespect imaginable. I mean, that's crazy. I'm gonna come to your house, eat your damn food, and then when you try to sit down and eat too, I'm gonna punch you in your face and say, get the fuck off my table. What kind of disrespect is that, and what kind of sick group of people will accept that? You tell me. You tell me. So let me keep going. Let me read a little bit more about this doctrine of unequal exchange. I think that this helps us understand what's happening today. So massive displacement of Africa's human capital and natural resources weakened West Africa's social and economic institutions. So black people, you have no institutions because things like integration, which was the doctrine of unequal exchange, weakened many of your institutions. You had institutions, you had families, you had businesses, you had schools. Those institutions were either weakened or gone. That's why, for example, Alicia and I, first thing we did when we created our foundation was we said we need a foundation that's going to provide some funding to independent black-owned schools, right? Because we need these institutions. So the institutions were weakened by the doctrine of unequal exchange, right? In Africa, and that's what happens in the African-American community. The doctrine of unequal exchange depleted Africa's resources, but the wealth and revenue, pay attention, generated from commerce with Africa revived Europe's sagging economies. So they got paid. They had a come up. They started from the bottom, now they here. Right? They started from the bottom, now they're here, to quote Drake. And how do you think they got here? Well, they got here from standing on your economic shoulders, right? So this is no different from what you see right now. When you see rappers rapping about how rich they are, or rapping about the fact that they just bought, or somebody just gave them a $200 million jet, they got that from you. They got that from you. You know, when the founder of Louis Vuitton talks about how he's worth over $100 billion. $100 billion. I have to say with a B. I have to twist my lips to make $100 billion. Where do you think he gets all the props that he receives in terms of why people want to wear Louis Vuitton? I think he sells Louis Vuitton and one of those liquors that black people love to drink. I don't know if it's Henny or what. You know, we think liquor's cool and we think that fashion is cool. And ain't nobody cooler than black people. That's what I talk about, cultural capital. Ain't nobody cooler than black people. If you don't co-sign on it, if you thought it was corny, the world would think it was corny and his sales would drop immensely. So when rappers are singing and rapping about how wonderful this white man's product is, think about this. You're singing about how wonderful Massa's liquor is. Think about how ridiculous that is, right? You're rapping and celebrating your own genocide. You know, like you're really celebrating and dancing to that. And you're rapping and celebrating about how good Massa's liquor is. Massa liquor gonna kill me. I ain't gonna take care of my kids. My bad Massa done gave me Hennessy. I got that Henny girl. I'm about to go out here and make a bunch of babies I can't take care of and give black women a bunch of venereal diseases and not take care of my babies because I got that Henny, right? That's a minstrel show. That is a minstrel show. You just don't recognize it because it's not, it doesn't look like it did in 1905. But that is the modern day minstrel show. When you you put on exaggerated costumes. Minstrel shows are like, showtime, right? So you try to really stand out by having more diamonds in your teeth than everybody else, more tattoos on your face and your body than anybody else, more gold chains than one motherfucker should ever wear in a lifetime, and you like, I'm thugged out, I'll shoot a black man in a minute, right? And then there's some little record label executive who's not black typically. In many cases they hire black people, but most of these labels are, the real power brokers aren't black. You saw what happened to Nick Cannon, and they're cheering this on. They're saying, go boy, I likes that boy, I likes that boy, right? And that's the game that you're still playing, and that's the doctrine of unequal exchange. They're extracting wealth from the black community, and they don't feel obligated to give anything back. And so when somebody like me comes along and says, hey, this ain't right, this is economic rape, like this is we need to call the Me Too movement, because somebody's getting assaulted and ooh, wow, he put that whole thing in his butt, like that's just not right. That ain't right. When somebody like me comes along, I already know what the reaction is going to be. You're going to have some people that say, you know, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, he's actually right. And then you're going to have some people that will say, you just hating. You just a hater. Get your hands. Why we always got to put our hands in somebody else's pocket, right? Like these are some of the bad habits that you have that support your oppression. These are some of the bad habits you have that keep you economically oppressed. These are the habits you have that keep you behind. Two habits that you have that destroy your community are, one, you feel like you have that we have no right, because your self-esteem is low. You feel like you have no right to critique anything your favorite celebrity does. You have no right to challenge them. Because they gave you good music. You have no right to question anything that they do. And then number two, you have this crazy thing that happens in the hood called no snitching. Like, we ain't never gonna snitch on nobody. Well, guess what? I'm sorry. If I saw a black man go shoot a little 3-year-old girl in the head, I'm going to be a snitching motherfucker that day. I'm going to snitch to everybody. I'm going to go on YouTube and say, guess what I just saw today? Here's where he's at. Let's go get this son of a bitch because he's worse than the Klan. Like that's what so I'm sorry. I think that those two habits you have, where you're like, you think everything is snitching, like even when it benefits your community, that's bad. And then this whole like, we're not gonna do celebrity snitching. We're not gonna talk about his money. He got a right to do whatever he gonna do with his money. Well, you know what? How about this? Let me make a deal with you. If you want me to keep my hands out of a celebrity's pockets, then tell the celebrities to keep their hands out of mine. You want us to keep our hands out of your pocket, Drake or whoever, then keep your hands out of our pockets. That means no more use of our cultural capital, no more use of our cosign to go out and make money. Anything you do, go do some corny ass Miley Cyrus shit. Go out here and imitate the country music singers or something. But we don't want you coming back in our community taking nothing unless you give something back. That is the same actual demand I actually have on my children. I tell them, I say, look, if you want something from the family, we're a family, we're a unit. We need each other to survive. We all gotta help each other. So if you are a person who is constantly taking from the family and ain't giving nothing back, then you can't be a member of the family, because it has to be a reciprocal process. You must give to that which you take. Right? I do that with the children. I say, look, you take from your mama. You drive her crazy. You yell her name at every word. She can't get a nap. You constantly bother her. Well, guess what? It's Mother's Day. God damn it. We putting her at the top of the priority list. No, or she wants to take a nap. You better not bother mama, because mama needs to rest. Because if we don't take care of mama is the tree. You are the apple that fell from the tree. If we do not take care of the tree, then the apples will rot and die. And the thing from which that we all depend on is not going to exist anymore. You're going to kill your mama by driving her crazy and stressing her out. So the same thing is true with the black community. When people are constantly taking, and feel no need to give anything back, then you are depleting the tree. You are depleting the community. You are draining the community. And that's why the community is dying. That's why so many of our communities are dead. Think about how many rappers you see who will brag to you about their private jet and their helicopter and their Bentley and their European shoes and their Louis Vuitton bags or whatever. But they come from neighborhoods that are economically, socially, and spiritually dead. How is it that you supposed to be a king and you coming from a hood and you rapping about a hood where people can't even eat? you should be ashamed as a king. If you're supposed to be a king, if you like, these are my people, these is my peoples, man, and you doing videos in the hood, I seen Drake do it because Drake needs that street cred, right? He knows he's the corny guy from Degrassi who's from Canada, right? So he needs the street cred, so he'll pop up in the hood with his, looking fly and be doing videos in the hood, and then he'll get on his chopper and go home, right? So people use the hood, but I don't really think that there's as much of an interest in investing in the hood or investing in black people, period. And and I know this for a fact. I had a conversation with somebody who runs a very popular brand in the black community, and one thing I remember hearing them talk about is how they pay very close attention to the cultural habits and the fashion choices of 17-year-old black males, because they said, and I'm not making this up, this is I put this on everything. He said, because we know that whatever the 17-year-old black male is wearing, the whole world will wear the same thing. The translation for you is that they are extracting your cultural capital by studying you like rats in a lab, so they can figure out how to monetize that and make trillions of dollars, right? So that's what it is. So with Drake, I'm just gonna say this. This I want to make it very clear. This is not a anti-Drake conversation. And once again, like I said, his jet, it was given to him, and he did not purchase it. And I think that's very important to note, because that was a mistake I made, and I take accountability for that. But I think at the end of the day, the point remains the same. The bigger point here, the clearer point, is that if you want to achieve some sort of economic parity or some sort of economic progress or some sort of economic elevation, you must absolutely ensure that you're not always getting the raw side of the deal. That's my point. So when you see a rapper put on Instagram how he just bought a car from a white guy for $5 million, I think it's okay to ask in the comments, well, are you going to go and buy $5 million worth of merchandise from a black-owned business? Or when you see somebody talk about how they went to go see Jake the jeweler, some guy who laughs at black people, I'm sure, when he goes home every night. When they go buy a $400,000 chain from Jake the jeweler, I think it's okay to say, okay, are you going to also invest the same amount in some black-owned company that will elevate and create jobs for the black community? I think that celebrities should be challenged, and if they don't meet the standard, then I think it's okay to say, I think I'm going to go support somebody else. Why? Well, because ultimately it comes back to you. It comes back to self-love. It comes back to saying, I do this all the time in my life. I'm gonna tell you how I do my money. Here's what I do with my money. I have layers and tiers on where I invest my money. First, and it's very selfish. It's very selfish because I know I was born a slave like a lot of y'all, but I've been trying to come out of slavery. I told you I'm on a fast right now. That's why I'm drinking this water. Has like a weird formula in it. Alicia said it's gonna help clean me out. I lost about 4 pounds this week, and I'm going crazy because I want my Twizzlers, but I'm on this fast because I'm trying to extract myself from coonery. I'm trying to get the buffoonery and the Negroisms out of my body, and one of the ways that I am cleansing myself is cleansing myself through forms of what I might call economic self-esteem. And so the way I do my money is very selfish. I pretty much am more likely to allocate my capital to things that are going to come back and benefit me and my family. I don't just want to give all my money away to people who don't care about me. If you disrespect me in minds, if you disrespect my family, you're getting nothing from me. You won't get a nickel from me ever. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. I hope your whole family dies a horrible death if you don't love me and my people. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole like that. Okay. And so when I'm looking to invest, I'm thinking about the fact that I believe that in order to become wealthy as a family, because my family, I'm going to build this family empire. Money should be a boomerang, not a frisbee. It should be a boomerang, not a frisbee. A frisbee is where you throw it out and it just goes away and it never comes back. A boomerang means I'm going to throw it real hard, it's going to go, and it's going to come back, right? And maybe it's going to come back bigger than it was before, right? So the people that I tend to invest my money with are not people that I usually don't invest with people I don't know. I certainly don't invest in my enemies. I also invest first with people that are in my inner circle. So when I got some extra money and I'm looking to get something done, I'll look next to me to the person who's had my back. Somebody that I know is going to come back and be supportive or help provide protection or support or security, right? So I'm going to invest in them first. Right? The longer you've been loyal to me, the more I'm going to invest in you. Then if I can't find anybody in that circle or there's money left, then I'll go a little bit outside that circle to the next layer. Maybe these are people that are friends of people that I trust, right? And then maybe we go to the next layer, but you got to go about 2 or 3 layers outside in order to get to people that are just complete strangers or people that I don't think really have the best interests of the Black community at heart. They're last on the priority list. And I don't know how that sounds to people. I don't even care. I will just tell you that that's how wealthy communities operate. You take care of yours first. Be one. Hashtag be one. What does that mean? What I want you to really meditate on that one day. And I want you to help to understand that means that you're going to play the economic game in a way that is as sophisticated and mature as everybody else. That means that you take care of yours first and try to figure out how anything that you do, whether it's spending, charity, or an investment, that it all comes back to something that you care about. If it doesn't come back to something that you care about, then that means you're engaging in the doctrine of unequal exchange. You're giving them something of value. They're giving you nothing. They're giving you a bowl full of urine. That's not how you do things. Right? But that's how people do it when they have low self-esteem. We're not going to have low self-esteem. I encourage you to have higher self-esteem because that's the first step toward developing a strong community. When they measured, I'm going to tell you this and then I'm going to go, guys. When they actually measured the greatest cultures on earth, the most successful cultures on the planet, one of the characteristics that they mentioned as a defining characteristic of great cultures and great communities that prosper and succeed around the world is high self-esteem, high cultural value. Like I am the shit. We are the shit. Our people are very important, and I'm gonna put my people first. That was actually one of the 3 criteria. Besides a commitment to education, that was big. So when rappers are promoting ignorance, they are killing your community. I want you to understand that, right? And then also you got that last piece that was in there. A commitment to delayed gratification. What does delayed gratification mean? All that means is that you think like an investor. All that means is that you'll sacrifice today so you can have a better tomorrow. All delayed gratification means is that I'll give up a little so I can eventually get a lot, right? I don't need to have it right now, etc. So when rappers are promoting, pay attention now, pay attention. This is where we got to challenge the rappers who are stealing our culture and making money around the world. Listen to what I'm saying here. Pay attention to the 3 variables that measure cultural and community strength are delayed gratification, a commitment to education, and high cultural self-esteem. Many of your artists are being paid by people from other communities to promote the exact opposite of everything I just laid out for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Think about this. Do rappers, I'm talking about the dumbass mumble rappers that they put on the radio, that white people love to put on the radio for you. Do they promote educational accomplishment? Like, do they rap about how every child needs to make straight A's and read as many books as he can? Or do they come out with some old broken ass English, talking stupid, talking ignorant, and making you think that you should be embarrassed because you like to read books? Right? So think about this. Look at the other factor. The other factor, delayed gratification. Do rappers, on average, I'm talking about the mumble rappers. I'm talking about the hood rappers. I'm not talking about all rappers. We got the Kendrick Lamars. We got the J. Coles. We know they exist. The D1s. With the Killer Mikes. We got all that. But y'all know what else is out there. Y'all know what's influencing young people. Do they promote delayed gratification, where you sacrifice today so you can get more tomorrow? Or do they promote instant gratification, where you got to get it right now? If I got to rob you to get it, I'm gonna get it. If she looks good, I'm gonna hit it. If I want to be fly, I'm gonna spend it. It's mine, I spend it. I'm riding around and I'm getting it. It's mine, I spend it. Right? Do they promote instant gratification or delayed gratification? Which one do they promote? Last piece. Do they promote high cultural self-esteem, where the Black community is valued and cherished and should be protected? Or do they promote low cultural self-esteem, where women are bitches, Black people are the N-word, right? That black genocide is a joke, that literally you can go murder Black people and then go brag about it, and then even other black people will think that's wonderful, and white people will pay you to make another album? Like, your last album called Niggas and Bitches Should Die, we loved it. It was a #1 hit. We want you to make another one just like it, Tyrone. So we're gonna double the amount of money you get paid. Are you kidding me right now? You're financing the genocide. You're financing, what the Nazis did in World War II. You're financing this. So that's it. That's y'all need to just sit back and I think you just kind of need to. It's like this. It's like sometimes if you're raised in the wrong environment, things that are really abnormal start to become normal. Like a baby born in a crack house is gonna think that certain things that are abnormal really are normal when they're really not normal at all, right? Maybe they'll grow up thinking that everybody sells crack, that everybody uses drugs, that every child has to have sex at the age of 5, right? They'll grow up with these weird views of the world because of the environment they grew up in. Well, I think for black people, we kind of have the same problem. We're raised in such a warped, weird society that when you're the only normal motherfucker in the building, when you're the one who kind of says, this doesn't make any sense, you're not going to be in the majority because everybody around you has been zombified by white supremacy and racism. Everybody around you has been taught to normalize the abnormal. It is not normal to celebrate your genocide. It is not. That's not going to help you survive. It is not normal to refer to your women as bitches and hoes. That ain't normal. And to think that that's good. And then y'all ladies that will go and dance to a song where a man calls you the B word every chance he gets and then talks about. I listened to a rapper's lyrics one time. It was Lil Wayne. And he literally said in this song, I'll take your girl, I'll make her nut for me, then slut for me. And of course it'll be yo cash. And then I'll murder that bitch and send her body back to your ass. I heard him say that. And I said, wow. I said to a black woman, actually, I said, he just said that he was going to steal your girlfriend and turn her into a hooker. And then he's going to murder her body and mail it back to me. Like, and you think that that's, and this is a guy, this guy's a sex symbol to you? You know that people like that those are predators. Like those, if that's how you choosing your boyfriends, no wonder you single. No wonder your relationships haven't worked out. No wonder you feel like you're a victim of your previous boyfriends. If you're picking men like that and men who think that way, then that man is not going to elevate you and take care of you. That man, he might kill you though. But it sounds to me like you think that's normal. So what I'm saying is that as black people, maybe we have to stop normalizing the abnormal and start really thinking about what it means to have high cultural self-esteem. So again, I recommend all of you do a detox. I'm doing my detox cleansing. This is Alicia picked this and she made me do it, and I said, you know what, I need to be healthy, and I think we need to detox from the buffoonery that we've absorbed so much that we actually think that's normal. It's not normal at all. I'm just here to tell you that. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm out. I hope that this conversation helps some of you. Those of you who disagree, it's okay to disagree. You can disagree, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you that you need to believe everything I say or that I'm right about everything, because shit, I'm wrong about a lot of stuff, but I do my best to learn how to be more correct today than I was yesterday. And that's the goal that I have, and that's the goal that I think works for a lot of us. So take care, guys. Have a good day. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Instagram at The Real Boyce Watkins, and also on Twitter at Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. And thoughts come to me all day long, and so I love to tweet stuff. By the way, thank you guys for hanging out with us for Black Movie Night. We watched the movie Black Friday. David Banner's in it. Chuck D was in it. I saw a lot of people. George Frazier, Dr. Claude Anderson was in it. It's a great movie by Rick Mathis, and we had a great time. Thousands of you came in, and so we're well on our way to building this black movie industry, and I'm really excited to be a part of that. So God bless all of you. Thank you for hanging out with us, and I'll see you soon. Take care. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.